referred to why the parting of ways between Islam and the Christian faith. I think I've got a very simple question, a simple answer to that, and I would like Mr. Deedat please to comment on that. You know, that Jesus said in John 14, verse 6, he says, I am the way, the truth and the life. No one goes to the Father except by me. And what actually drew my attention during the whole speech of Mr. Deedat was that he really referred that Islam really accepted Jesus Christ as a prophet or as a being. He referred to the miraculous birth of Jesus Christ and all that. And further on, or during his speech, he said, sorry, I would just...
Sorry, sir, could you please be brief?
Yes, I would like, I would be brief. He said, there's no difference between the teachings of Muhammad, Moses, and Jesus.
Thank you,
I just read you a statement that Jesus made, and I am sorry that if I feel that if Mr. Deedat do not agree with that specific statement, then there can be, it's impossible for us to have one way, Christians and
Thank you. You see, you did go too fully when I said that in the fundamentals of the teachings of Moses, Jesus and Muhammad, there is not an iota of difference. Mark my words, I said in the fundamentals of the teachings of these three, there is no difference at all. That's what I said. Now, with regards to the quotation, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. I accept that. You see, the Jews, they wanted another way, their own way. They wanted this man of God, the Messiah, to make them masters of the world, save them, free them from the Roman bondage. He said, look, I haven't come to do that. If you want to know the will and plan of God, I, as God's representative, as His messenger, you have to listen to me. There is no other way. And I accept every word of that, every phrase. But in the time of Moses, who was the way to God? Jesus? Muhammad? No. It was Moses. You see, the children of Israel, they chose another way through the golden calf. God didn't like it. God didn't want it. He said, kill them all. And they killed one another. 22,000 Jews were killed in one day. For what? For worshipping the golden calf. That was another way. If you want, in the time of Moses, the way to God, you had to go through Moses. In the time of David, David was the way to God. In the time of Solomon, Solomon was the way to God. In the dispensation of every prophet, that respective prophet is the way to God. If you want to know God's will, you have to go through the prophet. In the time of Jesus, Jesus was the way to God. In the time of Muhammad, Muhammad is the way to God. So this is the law of God, that He sends His messengers and through them you find out God's will. He's telling you that the way to God is personified in me, true life is personified in me, truth is personified in me, look at me. If you look at me and follow me, you will be in God's good pleasures. You will be according to God's will.
Thank you, Mr. Deedat. Do we have a question from the chairman?
Yes,
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman,
Yes, you already...
you allow people to ask more than one question. At the same time, I only asked one. And the professor...
Sorry, sir, I really out of order. I'd like to have a question from Mr. Masino here. Thank you very much, please.
This man only had one question. I'll just say you have to listen to the chairman.
I'm sorry, sir, we cannot have arguments in the audience. Otherwise, I will be forced to close this meeting. Kindly take a seat, please. Sir, would you kindly take a seat, please? This gentleman will have a question. The people who already had their chances to ask questions, we cannot go a second time around. Would you just take a seat, please? Can we have Mr. Masilo to ask a question, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've all got this little booklet brought by Mr. Deedat.
Could you speak into the mic, please, Mr. Masilo?
I'm sure you all got this booklet brought by Mr. Deedat, ladies and gentlemen. And therefore, I'd like you to open on page 28. If you open page 28 and check under the title, The Sons of God. Check under the title, The Sons of God, there are a few verses which I'd like to pose to Professor Van Rooy. Professor Van Rooy, the Christian is made to believe that Jesus is the only Son of God. and that God has got no other sons. But here we see in this booklet brought by Mr. Deedat, few verses, starting under the title Begotten, Not Made. Adam, which was the Son of God. This you can see in Luke chapter 3, verse 38. We go on. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. And when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, they bare children to them. Genesis chapter 6, verses 2 and 4. Again, Israel...
Sorry to interrupt, but can you get on to the question, please?
Now my question is, why is the Christian made to believe and to accept that Jesus is the only Son of God?
Is that question directed to Professor Van Rooy?
To Professor Van Rooy.
Thank you very much. Professor Van Rooy,
Sorry, now I have the question, thanks. You see, I just want to refer to something Mr. Deedat said. He said that in Hebrew and Arabic you've got two plurals, the normal plural and the plural of majesty. And in the same way, one must realize that the term son is used in more than one way. The term son can in the Bible and elsewhere be used to denote a son, to denote a grandson, or just to denote a descendant, like Jesus is the son of David, meaning he's a descendant of David. So the term son can be used for different sorts of relations. And what we believe is that Jesus is the only true Son of God, and men are adopted sons of God.
Thank you, Professor Van Rooy. Now, calling for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Ahmed Deedat, would you allow me just to prove to you in the scriptures that Jesus Christ was actually Yahweh or Jehovah? Would you allow me to prove to you in the Old Testament that Jesus was Jehovah?
Sorry, sir, could you get on to the question, please? Could you just ask the question specifically?
Yeah. This is not the question. It's just the fact that he mentioned nowhere in the Bible is mentioned that of the name Christians. We are Christians. Nowhere in the Bible. I just would like to show you in Acts 15 verse 14 in Afrikaans. Simon het vertel hoe God in die begin uitgesien het om 'n volk uit die heidene vir sy naam aan te neem. If you accept the people for your name, they will be called after your name. That's why we call ourselves Christians.
Sorry, no, but Mr. Deedat does not understand Afrikaans, so
okay.
you will have to ask the question in Afrikaans to Professor Van Rooy, and he would then ask English to Mr. Deedat.
Okay, good. Mr. Deedat, it's just that you mentioned nowhere in the Bible we read about Christians, that we will be called Christians.
I said Christianity. The word Christianity is not found anywhere in any Bible.
No, good. Thanks. No, it's a grammatical derivation of the word.
Sorry, sir, we cannot have our discussion on that. You asked the question, it has been answered. Professor Van Rooy, please will point van hierdie vraag wat
this one No, that wasn't the question. It was a statement he made, Mr. Chairman, just once. It was a statement he made which I tried to prove in the Bible. Now, just one information. The fact that they talked tonight about Jesus Christ being pierced and my Lord and my God. In the Old Testament, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ from prophecy. And in Zechariah 12 verse 10, Jehovah said, they look unto me whom they pierced. And in Isaiah 35, thou, thy God himself shall come. And you read that in Matthew 11. If you want me to experiment, I can. And I'm in a position to do it.
I'm sorry, thank you very much.
So you laugh at it, Mr. Deedat. Can I have the privilege to experiment? May I? You are here in control.
You hire this hall and organize a meeting and deliver a lecture, and we will come and listen to you, sir.
So will I have the privilege later on? I have the privilege later on to hire the hall and invite you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Professor Van Rooy and Mr. Ahmed Deedat, it is my extreme pleasure to thank you all to thank one and all for coming here tonight, and I hope that despite all the mayhem and the apparent confusion, that some little brightness has gone through you. Thank you very much for attending. Good night.